Who doesn't like sweets? It seems there are very few such people. When we were little kids, parents promised us chocolate or at least a candy for our good behavior. People eat chocolates, cakes, cookies, waffles, and other kinds of confectionery goods with great pleasure. In today's program, Made in Ukraine, we will tell you how different Ukrainian factories produce cookies and candies. At this confectionery enterprise, a wide range of products are made. They include different kinds of cookies, biscuits, waffles, and sweets with a waffle basis. The process for the production of sugar cookies begins in this workshop. The cookies can be baked with or without some kind of covering or icing, and they can be poured with sugar, honey, nuts, and sesame and poppy seeds. The enterprise also produces cookies with apricot, orange, and raspberry fillings. Components are loaded into a dough mixing machine in accordance with the recipe. Dough for baking is kneaded in this machine. All the technological lines are equipped with special metal catchers and sieves, which prevent foreign particles from getting into the dough. Flour is fed from silos to a kneading machine through special pipelines. The enterprise uses flour of different sorts depending on the kind of cookies that are baked. In addition to flour, all other components are loaded into the kneading machine. These include fats, a variety of dairy products, eggs, flavoring substances, and baking powder. The kneading process lasts from 5 to 15 minutes. Ready dough is transferred to the rotary machine through the plant's transport system. Dough billets for biscuits are made in this machine. There are sugar cookies that are crumbly in structure. The rotary machine is equipped with an internal fluted roller and a rotor. These parts of the machine mold the biscuit into the necessary form. In order to produce such cookies, the plant uses more than 30 rotors of different configurations. After the forming process in a rotary machine, the pieces of dough are put into a furnace. After that, they move along conveyor belts, are carefully stacked and become delicious, ready-to-eat sugar cookies. The cookies are covered with a sweet layer of cream or other toppings with the help of a special apparatus if the recipe calls for it. The cookies are covered with jam through a special depositor. Ready-made jam is heated to a certain temperature and loaded into this equipment. When the finished dough products move along conveyor belts, a detector is activated, and the depositor covers the surface of the cookies with jam. These large, long metallic boxes that are similar to ventilation shafts are in fact baking ovens. They have several zones inside each of them, with their own specific temperature conditions. The baking process takes anywhere from 5 to 15 minutes at a temperature range of 120 to 300 degrees. The temperature regime and baking speed of these biscuits depends on the shape, mass, and type of biscuit. The smart oven is controlled with the help of a special control panel. After that, baked cookies are sent to cooling conveyors. While the cookies are moving along the conveyor belts and are gradually being cooled, metal detectors control it for the content of foreign impurities. The cookies are packed into boxes, weighed, labeled, delivered to a designated warehouse, and are finally transported to stores and supermarkets for sale to the end consumer. But the enterprise produces not only cookies, it also makes delicious candies with nuts. The milk mass, which consists of sugar, molasses, and milk, is boiled to the required consistency. Then the milk mass is delivered to a special conveyor through the pipeline. The required number of nuts is loaded on the conveyor with the help of a dispenser and stirred to a homogeneous condition. After that, the mass enters cooling drums, where the so-called layer is formed. The next stage is a longitudinal cutting of the cooled layer. After that, the product goes through a cross-cutting, which is done with the help of a so-called guillotine. Despite this rather macabre name, this device has nothing to do with an execution as in the olden days. It is called a guillotine due to the principle of its operation, when the required length of the candy is cut off with an abrupt drop of a sharp blade. Only after that the candies are covered with glaze. Then the sweets move on from the glazing machine and are stored in a refrigerator. After that, the candies pass through a metal detector as a safety check and then are wrapped. A special high-speed machine wraps each candy. Then they're weighed, packed in boxes, and sent to a warehouse for delivery to markets and stores.